think we're live. And I'm going to hit go live on Instagram.
Okay. Making sure it's popping up on my Facebook. It hasn't yet.
Okay, so I'm showing it's all of us. And then it's just not allowing me to do the go live on Instagram. Maybe I didn't copy my stream. Let me just see what I did.
Hey guys, how are you? What's going on? Welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to remove it. And then I'm going to add Instagram. And I'm going to repaste the key.
You know, we always have. So in the meantime, y'all, like as I always say, drop the word live or replay, whatever you're doing. Are you replaying? Are you watching live? Where are you watching from? We want to know. We nosy.
We nosy.
We nosy.
Now we're live. Now we're live.
I'm from Westminster, Maryland. She from Winnipeg, cold motherfucking Canada.
It's actually not cold anymore. We're actually we're +1 today Celsius.
Okay, no. So that's still cold.
It's above freezing.
Yeah, no, it's still cold. Anything lower than my age is cold.
We were melting today, which was nice. We got a slow melt going on.
Imagine that.
We've got comments on here. All right. Welcome, guys. We are coming to you live like we do every Thursday. The last few Thursdays, we've been talking about GLP-1s, and we were talking about the needles and the injections and the risks and what really is it and all of that stuff. And we hope that you got some really good content from that. We'll be talking about it again as we go over it. But January was kind of 4 consecutive weeks about GLP-1s because we knew at the time of when you're setting your resolutions, you're looking for easy outs, right? Or those quick fixes and all of that. So today we're busting myths, Danny K.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Yes, and I love this topic when you said let's talk about this. So guys, we're moving into more education now. We're going to have a group that you can come into to hang out with Danny, get more of her tips and tricks and things that she does in our GLP-1 series. Guys, we were talking about how to eat to get the same results that you can get from those risky injections, and Danny shared her whole meal plan. So in that group we'll post the replays of what we had done. But tonight is 4 weight loss myths that are keeping your body stuck. And I think at a certain age, it doesn't even have to be a certain age, I think at a certain point in time, everybody goes through that period where they go, what's going on with my body? And if you haven't done the research that Danny's done, if you don't have her expertise, then you want to tune in and really hear these myths get busted and really find out, why am I stuck? How come I'm doing all the things right that feel like they're right and I'm just not moving the scale? Who is Danny Knight, though? She's better known as Danny K. That's why we call her Danny K. She's got a different way she says it, but it's not appropriate for... not appropriate for young ears in the room. But no, she's the owner of Danny K Gym and Wellness. She's a trusted voice in fitness and wellness. Look at her, guys. I mean, you can see it. You can see she's fit. She knows what she's talking about. She gets people fit. She works with them. She takes a personal interest in each of her clients and the people who come to her. But she's had years of helping people with just traditional training and nutrition, and now she focuses on supporting overall wellness and energy and hormone balancing, specifically in adults over 40, with a more sustainable approaches to wellness. And guys, this is what we're going to talk about today. So this isn't a sales call. This isn't a, hey, we're going to talk about sales the whole time. No, you're going to get value from this call or this stream, whatever we want to call it. I'm used to saying calls. And then, Danny's going to share what she does to get the results that she gets. So I'm really... I'm excited to bust some. I've been stuck on some of these myths, Danny, I got to say, and this one I love. So talk about this. Muscle weighs more than fat. Number 1.
I love this one because, this is like my favorite one. I even have a whole YouTube thing. If you go to, I think it's just Danny K, like search Danny K or whatever on YouTube. And I have a whole video on this. But I love it because people say, oh, that's okay because muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle don't weigh more than fat. A pound is a pound. If you have a pound of feathers and you have a pound of bricks, it's still a pound. So, but the volume, the size is different, right? So if you have a pound of bricks, it's going to be maybe like one brick, half a brick, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a pound of feathers, it might be 2 garbage bags full of feathers, right? So, so what weighs more, feathers or bricks? I mean, within a pound, like one feather to one brick, obviously. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about 5 pounds of muscle, 5 pounds of fat. They both weigh the same. It's 5 pounds. The difference is like the space that it takes up. So I have these things at the gym.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and I take like a space and I put down like the fat blobs. And however I do it, let's just say 3 and 3. Let's just say that covers up 9. Let's just say this right here is 9 pounds. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pounds of fat, right? If I were to put 9 pounds of muscle in that, and as you can see, the samples, the images, the muscle is more condensed. It's smaller than the fat. So if I take my 9 pounds of muscle area, the area, the surface, and put 9 pounds of fat, it's going to be now smaller, right? So what happens is, if you're not losing weight, but your jean size, your pant size is like an inch smaller, your waist is an inch smaller, that's great. So that means, whatever, like, just say for this instance, you've lost 5 pounds of fat, you've gained 5 pounds of muscle. So now you have more area, right? So if this is 9 pounds of fat, and then only 9 pounds of muscle fit in there, it might only be 3/4 of that space.
Right.
So that's why the jeans are loose, and that's why the scale didn't move, because whatever you lost, you replaced. Now, typically that won't ever happen. That doesn't really happen. Like, you're not going to lose 5 pounds, especially females. You're not going to lose 5 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle,
Right.
like instantly. You know what I mean? But there are some struggles with that. So, but that's the gist of it. Like, yes, muscle is denser, and yes, if you put more muscle in that 9 pounds of fat space, you might get maybe 12 pounds of muscle. Then yes, that's going to weigh more, but that's not apples to apples, right? So if you're talking a pound to a pound, 5 pounds to 5 pounds, it's still the same. It's just the dense, the blob, the space, the surface of it, the area of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's such a good thing to note, because as you're building one and losing the other, and
Yeah.
that scale isn't moving, that's generally the most frustrating time, especially if somebody ventures into a new workout program, or working out and exercising and eating better is new to them. They want to see that result, right? They want to see it in numbers. And sometimes, even as you're going through that, first 30, 60 days, you don't even necessarily feel it, right? As that transition is
Right.
happening, you start to notice the clothes fitting different, but that frustration. So what do you say to your clients in that first section of starting their journey?
So, I mean, one lady always sticks out in particular, because this is like a true real life situation, and it happens a lot of times, but it tends to like kickstart within that. So, I had her on. We had a meal plan. I saw her working out 3 days a week. She trained with me 2 days a week, so I saw her in the gym one more day. And she was doing yoga. So, as far as what I saw, I knew, but I can't tell what you do outside the gym. I can't tell if you can tell me you're doing a meal plan. You can tell me you're doing XYZ, but I don't know. So the first week that we did this, she didn't lose any weight. I was like, that's okay. Like, you didn't gain, you didn't lose, but you didn't gain. So that's a plus. Let's mark that down as a plus. So a lot of times what we find, and what I have found over the years, is women's body, a lot of times they don't want to let go. Like, and we hold on to fat. We store fat because of child rearing and all of that stuff. So your body doesn't want to let go. If it lets go, it feels like, oh my God, I'm starving, I'm going to die. You know what I mean? So I told her, I said, just stay the course. I said, if you're doing the nutrition properly, I have to go by what you say. I see you working out, so just stay the course. So the next week, she didn't lose weight. she didn't gain weight, but she didn't lose weight. I'm like, your body is going to kick it. It's going to start. Like, if you're telling me you're doing the right things with nutrition, I see you working out. Let's just one more week. And then the next week she lost 6 pounds, and then it started coming off. So it's consistency, right? I mean, just like with anything, it's like, I posted something. Well, nobody liked it. You know what I mean? Nobody commented. Stay the course, stay consistent, and eventually something's going to take traction. Something is going to, so it doesn't always happen that way, but that was one of the most stubborn, not client, but like with that client, it was one of the most stubborn times that we had. But I was just like, nope, stay the course, and she did, and boom,
That's so great. And I love what you said too. Our bodies hold on to it, right? A lot of times it's just our freaking stress levels that are just like, you got to tell yourself, let it go. It's okay to let it go.
Exactly.
Let's talk about myth number 2. Eating less is the fastest way to lose fat. And I think so many people feel this way, especially when we go back to what we're talking about with the GLP-1s. What does that do? Well, it takes your appetite completely away. Right. So talk about this one.
So, I mean, so basically if fat loss stalls, that's what they say. You just need to eat less. I hate the trainers. I don't hate, but when the trainers say, like, if an overweight person comes to you and says, how do I lose weight? And their instant thing is to say, eat less and move more. Well, you don't even know what they're doing. So I don't like that. So that's one of, when I'm hiring a trainer at my gym, that's one of the questions I ask them. And if they give me that answer, I'm not hiring them as Danny K qualified, Danny K approved. Because the thing is, I don't know what you're doing already. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to know what you're doing. You could be eating a bagel and doing 5 hours of working out. You know what I mean? And that's why it's not working. But if I tell you if you're doing one bagel and 5 hours of working out, and I tell you to eat less and move more, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, eat one bite of bagel, So find out, like, literally, like any trainers out there, find out what your client is doing. Find out what your potential client is doing. Because the truth is, if you eat too little, you're slowing your metabolism down. And when you're doing that, obviously, your body is kind of like in shutdown mode. It doesn't know what it's doing. So it's not going to burn anything, and it's going to store fat. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you have chronic calorie restriction, your cortisol goes up. Right. And women know that, like, a lot of times that's like, how do I get rid of this? We can't. Oh, that's another myth we should have done. Can't spot reduce. Let's hold that for the next time. Yeah. I mean, and then also, like, your thyroid output drops. And your body, like I said, your body starts going into store mode, not burn mode. Again, because it doesn't know what it's doing. So it always goes into survival mode. So if you're not feeding it what it needs, if you're not giving the water your body the water that it needs, it will store whatever it needs to, and it will hold on to whatever it needs to, because you're not giving it, because it's doing that last minute like survival mode. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then, of course, what happens then is your cravings start going up. You're not eating, you're whatever you're doing that is stalling your progress, that you think you're doing the right thing. The cravings go up. Well, now you're going to eat that, or you're going to be like angry or pissy that, you've got all these cravings and everything. You don't know what you're doing. And it's just a simple, it's just as simple as what we've been talking about, metabolic reset. If we can reset your metabolical regulatory systems, then we're going to be golden.
Right. And I love that. And people, and I wrote down too. So guys, this is why you have to tune in next week, because I was going to ask this question, but I think we save it, about whether or not, we hear only eat when you're hungry. But then in other situations we hear eat at certain intervals each day to keep your metabolism going. But we'll talk about that next week, guys. So this is why.
Yeah, that was, because that's good.
Yeah. So I wrote both of those down. We'll talk about spot reducing and that one. Myth number 3, if the scale isn't moving, nothing is working. How many of us, that woman in that first slide, the frustration with her screaming at the scale, have felt that way, right? You like, you almost close your eyes to step on, and you're like, you look down and you're like, oh, right.
Yes.
It's such we're so trained to just rely on that number.
Right.
So tell us about this.
So, well, again, like with that lady, I guess I kind of a twofer. If the scale isn't moving, nothing's working. It is working. Yes, the scale didn't move for my client, but things were still happening on the inside, right? So, a lot of times things happen on the inside first. It's like just because you want, this belly area gone, that doesn't mean that that's going to go first. It's going to, just like what we talk about with all of our, the hormone balancing, it's going to balance and work with what it needs to work with first, of what you're kind of like low in, or, like your body is like kind of like, kind of sitting sedentary in. Yes, you want this done, but your body says, you know what, we need this, and this to get done first, and then we'll release and let that happen. Right. So, what really could be happening, when you're eating right, we're resetting your metabolic system, you're being active, you're paying attention to what we said before, the fiber first, the food order, stuff like that. We're moving into insulin sensitivity. The inflammation is going. If you're drinking your water, you should be noticing less bloating. Your sleep, how are you sleeping? Even though you want the scale to move, if I say, well, how's your sleep? Well, yeah, I guess my sleep did improve. Well, see, you're focused on that scale when there's so many other things that could be happening and is happening within your system, within the inside, right? We're also, we're regulating through all of this stuff. We're regulating, the hormone signaling. We're trying to put your body back into like where it's supposed to be. I mean, we've got through all of these like damaged things that we're doing, hormone disruptors and so forth. Just through what we do eat, what we have eaten in the past, and now we're trying to make certain changes. You think about like, if you're driving down the road and, there's a detour, like now you're all befuddled. You're like, oh shit, now what I'm going to do, right? That's kind of what your body's doing. Your body, you've been eating and not exercising and everything for so long. Now you're doing this stuff and your body's like, oh, okay, hold on. We got to do it. Check the box, check. I know you want to lose weight. Hold on. Check the box.
Right.
Stay with it. It's consistent. Things are happening. You know what I mean? Like things are happening internally as externally, and it'll get there.
And I think too, visually, like for me, what works is if I've say fallen off of working out for a period of time or something, like a month or two goes by, or like when I was pregnant, like there's months that go by where you're not doing heavy workouts or anything. For me, knowing this, like knowing, okay, don't expect to see the results right away on the scale or in the mirror, right? But I would just take a calendar and I'd X off all the days that I had worked out, right? That I stayed committed to eating well and doing the exercise and doing the things that I know eventually will compound and get me there. So guys, that's one trick you can use. If you visually need to see something that's rewarding you, then do that. And maybe if once you've done, 25 workouts in 1 month, celebrate, like treat yourself with something, maybe not food or dessert or sugar or something like that, but just like something fun, right? Where you're celebrating those small wins for yourself.
Because the other thing is like you're seeing something visual. Like if you don't see something visual, you will, if you stay with it within, a week, you should see something or feel internally something. But that is one of the main reasons why people like quit before the results show up, like on the outside, because the scale isn't moving. But if you do those little check marks, like mark off, I've worked out, look what I did, I'm so proud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but it will happen. You just don't give up and don't stop.
I love that. I've already written down 2 more things for next week.
Ooh.
The whole certain people can eat whatever they want. And why? Because we can even go into the mindset of that as well, right? The more you say like that whole thing, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
The second metabolic burn, when later in the day, if you do a certain type of workout, you can get that metabolic burn going on where you feel your whole body ignite. Let's talk
Right.
about that next week too. So we're gonna have some good stuff for you guys next week.
Okay.
So myth number 4, this is the last myth, guys, and then Danny is going to go into a little bit of the kind of secret tools that she gives to her clients, that she recommends to them to really start seeing faster results, but also work with their body through their hormones. And that's what this topic is. Myth number 4, hormone issues mean fat loss is impossible. Can we do anything about our hormonal weight, Danny?
I think we can. I think we can. And I think we have like talked about that a lot of times, like just in the past, whatever's,
Yeah.
and, you know, but we all know you can't outrun, or I guess I should say you can't out diet, or train a hormone imbalance, but you can
Yeah.
support your hormone signaling, right? And we do that through Angel's got leptin and ghrelin and insulin. I mean, these are all terms that you guys have heard, and we support, if we're supporting the hormone signaling and the metabolic repair of, like, if we're doing that, if we're resetting, I should say, the metabolic regulatory systems, we are going, you're going to see that. But hormones are a huge thing. I mean, like, if they weren't, let's put it this way, if they weren't a huge thing in weight loss or weight gain, then we wouldn't have menopause weight gain.
Yeah.
Right. So, but when hormones are stabilized, okay, through proper nutrition, resetting that metabolic regulatory system, through, certain supplementations that are actually optimizing your hormones and not screwing them up, fat loss then becomes a byproduct of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you get all of these, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 folds of things,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, I think the ladies especially, I mean, guys can feel it too. When your testosterone goes down and your weight goes up, you're not feeling great about yourself, right? Like, guys feel it in a different way, but we women, oh my gosh, we can feel like a different weight from day to day. Like, there will be times during the month where I'm working out, I'm eating great, and I'm like, ooh, I feel it. I feel tighter. I feel smaller. I feel, less inflammation. I'm not bloated. And then the next freaking day, I can feel like I am a whale, and all I am is floating full of water. Like, I can't remember what I said to my boyfriend last week, but I was like, I feel like a water balloon. Like, and that's just from day to day. You can feel great and be like, oh, I look cute in this outfit. And the next day it's like, I don't want to leave the house. But, and that just happens. And especially, like, I still get my cycle, right? So it's like the hormone, and luckily, and we're going to give you guys these tools coming up, but luckily we have some tools where I'm able to self-regulate. And women can do that better than men. Right? We're so much more sensitive to how we're feeling. Okay, I know days when my thyroid's off. Oh, I know days when I can feel my estrogen's too high, too low, right? Like, we just know, and we know it through our mood. We know it through how we're feeling. We know it through aches and pains. We know it in so many different ways. And so I love this because we just go, well, it's my hormones, but what are we doing about it? Like let's tackle this issue.
Well, people think, oh, it's my hormones. There's nothing I can do. It's just, it's just what it is. No, we have solutions.
Mm-hmm.
We have all kinds of solutions.
Exactly. And you've had your own journey as well, which we can talk about, in another one as too, right? Like, where people will relate with your story. But Danny, talk about this. So we talked about this during our GLP-1 presentations, guys, Tri-MLT. And this is, honestly, we call it our healthy Ozempic, because it's not a shot you're sticking in yourself. It's a shot you're downing once a day. And so talk about the power of this with the hormones. And the power of the and the Tri-MLT.
So, I mean, with weight gain, you guys, like, it's the ghrelin, the PYY, the leptin. These are all like hunger hormones. These all are, they coincide with insulin. We've talked about insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity. If you are moving into insulin sensitivity, that means that these hunger hormones are being regulated. So, and people always want fast results, right? So it's like, now now we've been talking about, like the proper like food order as well as the TriMLT. That together boosts and speeds that process up, right? But it's doing it naturally, homeopathically, and it's optimizing these hormones. It is not replacing. Like when you talk about like the GLP-1, that's a synthetic, and it's replacing which hormone? GLP-1. But what about, why is it only focused on GLP? Why don't they talk about the PYY, the ghrelin, the leptin, right? We talk about those three, and naturally, like my client is we just did a testimony Tuesday, and she's her levels are coming down, her blood pressure, she's off of like all the statins she's off of except for her insulin, but her insulin has come down. The doctor lowered it. They're still watching it because 9 times out of 10 they're going to be lowering it even more, and it's through the food order, what we've talked about, and using TriMLT, and the gel, which we'll probably go into, but it's that simple, guys. I mean, it's not going to happen fast, right? I mean, it's totally not going to happen super fast, and we don't want it to happen fast, because if it happens fast, you're losing muscle, and if you're losing muscle, I always say muscle is your army and fat is your enemy. And if you're losing your muscle, you're losing your army, and you're going to have nothing but enemies. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might lose some of the enemy, but when you get off of that synthetic thing, which you're not supposed to be on, it's not a lifestyle. What we teach is lifestyle. And but once you go off of that, and I have a couple of friends like inboxing me almost every single day. Oh my God, I went off the shot, and oh my God, they didn't tell me this, they didn't tell me that, they didn't warn me about this, they didn't warn me about that. Help me. I mean, so and that's what we're doing. We're trying to help you. If you are on the shot, we've got healthier alternatives to help you when you get off of that, to gradually level yourself out naturally and stay seeing the results that you've spent your money on. I'm not going to say worked your ass off on, because you didn't work your ass off.
No, exactly. Spent your money. And this is far, far, far cheaper, guys. And I love what you said. If you like, it won't be fast if you want it to last, right? Like if you don't want to have to worry about, oh my gosh, you're not going to stop taking TriMLT and all of a sudden gain all of the weight back, right? Because you worked with your hormones. It's an actual weight loss that is actually your body is sustaining afterwards. Right. Unless you go back to horrible habits. The one thing I love about the TriMLT too that I want to mention, guys, is it curbs cravings for sugar. A lot of people who have a sugar craving are coming back saying, I am not craving sugar. And I know for so many people, that's the one thing where it's just like, I don't know how to, I just want it, right? And so, and for me, I've shared before too, like the very first day I took it, I forgot to feed my kids. I didn't even realize it was supper because I wasn't hungry. I was working and I wasn't hungry, right? So definitely give it a try. Get with Danny to get the TriMLT. It's so affordable, guys. If you're spending hundreds of dollars on other stuff, this is affordable. It's like under $100 for a month, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. At wholesale, I think retail's like $4 more, like 104 or something. Yeah. This, guys, is Somaderm. Now you're going to hear us talk about this, and this is a transdermal gel, a homeopathic transdermal human growth hormone gel. This is not human growth hormone in a synthetic way where you're putting it into your body and increasing your human growth hormone. Right. So we are not asking you to put hormones on your skin and absorb it. What this is doing is, as you put this on, so I don't have my bottle here, I should. As you put this on and you rub it in thin layers of the skin, it is triggering your pituitary gland to naturally increase human growth hormone. And a lot of times, this should have been another myth, right? People think human growth hormone is just the youth hormone that, you just start losing as you get older and you want more of it because it makes you feel and look younger. Right. But it's the master hormone, guys. It's responsible for everything going on in your body. So Danny, talk about, these are the botanical ingredients you see on the screen. We'll give you the active ingredients. They're microdoses. That's why it's homeopathic, of what's in there to actually trigger the human growth hormone natural response. But Danny, talk about getting to the root and the source of yes, hormones are responsible for weight gain. They're responsible for how we're feeling and performing and all of that. But what does this product do in combination with the Tri-MLT? It's a 1-2 punch, guys. Like,
Yeah. So, well, first of all, when you said it just dawned on me when you said microdose, I hear a commercial on TV that is it's a synthetic medicine, and they talk about microdosing, and I was like, oh, we're ahead of you because we're already doing that.
yeah.
Whatever, but we're doing it naturally and homeopathically. I forgot what you said, but together, Somaderm and the Tri-MLT. So, like you said, the Somaderm is, the HGH. It's the mother. It's the motherboard of all of our hormones. I always say that it's like our thermostat, in the house. So, you put you can put your thermostat on whatever, but if you start shutting off, this room or that vent, or, shut that door, whatever, that's your hormones shutting down, right? So in order for your whole house to be 70 degrees or whatever, I like it a little warmer. But if your whole house is 70, you want your whole house to be 70 degrees, you have to flip that vent up, turn that door, open that door, da 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 da. So that's what HGH is actually doing to, the put 2 pumps on your arm, you rub it in, and it goes in, and it regulates your entire body. So this vent's closed, that's going to open that up. It stimulates it's stimulating your very own hormones to actually work, open up, so that we can regulate the whole entire house, and then together, so like, yes, it still works. All your hormones, it's still working on just the gel alone, works on your PYY, your ghrelin, your leptin, those hunger hormones. But combined with Tri-MLT, you're getting like a double whammy boost. Can you do the Tri-MLT without the gel? Yes. Can you do the gel without the Tri-MLT? Yes. Will you see results? Yes, yes, yes. But together, you're going to get that explosion, that faster, healthier result. Will it be like Ozempic? No, it's not going to be, and we don't want it to be. And I will never, ever, ever put you on anything or tell you to do anything that will get you those fast results like that. I don't believe in it.
I love that. Guys. This not only for the results of what Danny was talking about, but people love this for anti-aging, because what we see on the outside shows what's working on the inside. So yes, if the weight comes off, great, but you'll see a difference in your skin. You'll see a difference in how you feel. You'll see a difference in people saying to you, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Next week, we should put up some of the testimonials just so you guys can visually see with your own eyes what this one product is doing. And then we'll show you the testimonials when people did the 2 of them together. If you want to see them sooner, ask myself or Danny for them. This product, again, also super affordable, guys. It is not some super expensive hundreds of dollars a month product. No, it's affordable. It fits right in with your day. You can probably replace a few things you're buying every single month with this one product alone. And we'll teach you all of that and how to use it. But honestly, we have a 60-day money back guarantee on all of our products. So that shows you that, hey, you can use it for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can still give it back 30 days later. So that's how confident we are in the results that people get. What are you going to feel? We don't know, because my hormones are imbalanced differently than Danny's, and different than yours, and different. We don't know, but you can expect generally with our products, sleep, mood, energy, weight loss, and libido are the 5 things we talk about the most, because those are the things people generally feel and experience and go, all of a sudden I'm in a better mood. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden I have more energy. I'm sleeping like a baby. I haven't slept in years. I'm dreaming. I want to do stuff in the bedroom a little bit more. All of a sudden I have an interest in that again, right? All of a sudden that's fun again. Who doesn't want that to be fun again? So, but guys, get back with us. We're going to end this today. We don't want to keep you too long, because we know we lose people after 30 minutes. Their attention goes away. But get with us and get with Danny and when do we want to start the Facebook group, Danny? This week? Do you want to start to make a list? If people want to get in the group, they can message us and we can put you on the list. I think we already have one that we're just going to kind of reframe and get some people in there and have it be a fun place where there's contributions and you can share what you're doing and your results. And especially if you do go on these products, we want to feature you and we want to feature your journey so that you can encourage other people along theirs. Danny, thank you so much for tonight. I enjoy our Thursdays. So much great information.
Yes.
So you want to close us out?
I mean, just remember, guys, hormone signaling is what you want to do and what you need to do to get the weight off, to get the pain gone, all of that stuff. Like, and I know, like, I have a hard time doing like before and afters because I don't really see anything, and I don't see any before and afters. But there's so many people that come out like, you're glowing, like what is going on, like whatever. And I honestly, I didn't take the before because I can match it up.
Yeah.
But I didn't take a before because I didn't realize that, you know what I mean? Like the outside I was just doing it for the inside. I didn't know, you know what I mean? Because I already look only 18 years old. But, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why, another reason why I was just like, whatever. But hormone signaling, whether it's through food, whether it's through proper supplementation that optimizes your very own hormones, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you all the healthy things. And if you have chosen to do, the synthetics, the shots, whatever, this is that flow into the steady keeping it going. Because I'm telling you, I don't know how many people have told me, have inboxed me and have said, oh my God, like, no, but the doctor didn't say this and this and this was going to happen after I stopped the shot. Mm-hmm. So we can help you either before you decide, before you go on to the shot, give us a try. Give us 60, 90 days. Give us a try. And if you have done it and you're going off of it, or you're getting ready to go off of it, check us out, because this is going to keep signaling your hormones it's going to signal your hormones the correct way, and you're going to keep seeing those results that you have been seeing.
Perfect. Thanks so much again, Danny. Guys, get with Danny. Go find her on Facebook, follow her, give her some love on this live. Go and find us if you have questions. We're always happy to answer them. We appreciate you, and set your reminder for next Thursday, 8:00 Eastern. We'll be live covering those 4 other things we talked about, and some more good. And we'll do some before and afters for everybody too. So we'll see you guys next week.
All right.